so you don't get false ideas. There is, number one, no cure for cancer. Number two, there is no cure for diabetes. Number three, there's no cure for heart disease. There's no cure for arthritis. And he was going on, and I'm holding my hand up. And I was the oldest student in the class. And finally he said, Gary. And I said, Professor, I said, I hate to differ with you, but there are cures for every disease. And he says, no, he says, Gary, there's no cures, and we're not going to go into that right now. Well, I have a little bit of a aggressive personality. And I stood up because now I was starting to feel that feeling inside. And I turned around to my students who were sitting in the theater classroom, and I said, fellow students, I said, I'm not going to stand here and allow the professor to lie to you. And you're young and you're impressionable, and you haven't had any experience yet. I have. And I'm not going, and he kept saying, Gary, shut up. Gary, sit down. Gary, that's enough. And I kept just talking right over top of him. He'd raise his voice, I'd raise mine. And I said, I'll have you know, there is a cure for everything that exists in this world.
That's right.
God created it long before you were here, Professor. Push up the button. So I picked up my medical textbooks off the top of my desk and I donated to him rather vigorously. Across the room, and I walked out of class with a 4.1 grade average at that time. And then I couldn't figure out what I was going to do with my life because I decided I was not going to become a medical doctor. And so I roamed around doing different things and finally went into naturopathy, and of course I spent my years through school and in medical practice as a naturopathic physician, then went into surgical training, and some of you know I spent 3 years in Ecuador doing volunteer surgical work in the jungle for the poor people. So it's been an interesting life and career, all wrapped into one purpose. And that purpose was to find the elements that God gave us to regenerate